Hi, welcome back to Joshcore Season 2. In the last episode, we built this entire top section of the mega base, and we're only going to expand more in today's episode. Also, in the intro, I noticed this Arcanine spawned here. This is not mine. This is just another Arcanine. Let's beat it with our own. There we go. Nice. He is now done. I don't know why I needed to do that, but I'm just kind of in the mood to kill some Pokemon. As you can see on the left side of your screen, a lot of my Pokemon have been leveling up. Most notably is this Lucario, who is now at 68 on his level count, which was pretty low at the end of last episode. In between episodes, I've just been working to level them up. I've also been working on gathering a whole ton of materials for the next part of our base build, which I've collected here. I first started by gathering up some sandstone, then I mined up some basalt in a basalt delta, gathered some more diorite since I was running low on my supply, went back to the trial chamber and gathered up some oxidized copper and some normal copper as well. Then I crafted that oxidized copper into the cut copper and then into some cut copper stairs. I farmed up some warped stems since I was going to need that for a majority of the build. The only other noteworthy thing I did for this build was to go back to an ocean monument and collect some more prismarine. I also had a lot of the blocks I needed for this build in mass already. And as you can see, we have a whole ton of materials collected in all these shulker boxes, so we're going to get into some building right now. And just like that, another whole section has been added on top of the mega base structure. Once again, I'm keeping that theme of just jumbled houses on top of each other. So for example, this brand new sandstone house with the copper roof have been placed on the top. Used a lot of gradients here, again, taken from Google. This gradient has been used so much time, but the dark prismarine to like oxidized copper is so cool. Plus when you match in like the actual like pure copper, it looks very good. I also did this blue gradient up here in the side, and then just did a whole ton of gray structure on the top, mixed in some red and some brown, and then that sandstone structure at the back kind of continues with some whiter outlines as well. Up here, I still plan to add more height to this place, so I just kind of slabbed it off at the top here, and then lit up the areas as I please, so no mobs will blow this thing up. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I even have a small little area in here with storage, and you can even see the starter base from all the way over here. Once again, the leftover materials is just absolutely gone. There is no materials left after all of this base building. Next thing I want to do here is mine up these diamonds. When I was gathering resources for the mega base, I also did some diamond mining, and we got ourselves 23 diamonds. So let's fortune 3 this stuff and see how much diamonds we get. So we have 49 diamonds here, which should give us enough to duplicate some of these trims here. These are the 4 trims I want to use on my armor here. Then we're going to take ourselves some emeralds, because you already know we're rocking with the green trim at all times. And for any of you watching and you want to replicate my armor trim, I like to do this. I put flow on the helmet, I put snout on the chest plate, I use tide on my pants, which is also something you should do in real life. Use proper laundry detergent when you're cleaning your clothes. And then I also use coast on the boots. Normally I'd like the wild trim, but I haven't found that yet, and this will do. Now we're looking absolutely kitted out here. I love the way the emerald looks on my skin here. Even better, throw on the elytra, match it with the optifine cape. Looks amazing. And now that we have some green armor trim on ourselves here, it's about time I do this? I've put it off for way too long. Let's craft ourselves a Pokédex, and let's make it in green. Now, this will show us every Pokemon we've ever fought here. As you can see, haven't fought that many Pokemon, and it also shows all the Pokemon that we've caught. Yeah, not doing too great, but also not doing too bad. So I think that's a good thing to always keep on our person when we're ever in the cobblemon world. So one of the main things I said I wanted to do in this Let's Play series was to get all the cobblemon advancements. And there's been one that I absolutely do not want to do, but it has to get done. That is to get every single berry in cobblemon. Now, the way to get berries is pretty simple. You just kill some Pokemon and you get them. However, not all the berries in the game you can get that way. Some of them you actually have to like plant the berries down and then grow in a certain way so that two of the berries combine into another. Thanks to JEI, we can actually search up all the berries we need to get. Let's take like the Kelpsy berry, for example. This one I'd have to take the Rindo berry, Corn berry, and plant in a certain way to get that. However, I don't even have either of these berries, so I'd have to take one of those, take the Bluck berry and the Wiki berry to get the Corn berry. To get the Bluck berry, I think I already have that, but to get the Wiki berry, I have to take the Chesto and the Persian berry to get. It's a whole thing. You see what I mean? So basically, a series of planting and growing berries in certain ways to get certain berries. So I'm gonna go outside, grab all the berries we have right now, and get to planting these. So for proof of concept here, we need to get the Lepa berry, which is taking an Oran berry and a Raspberry, and you'll get it. So let's take one of those. Okay, so some time has gone by, and this berry right here looks to have a bit of yellow on it. There we go. There is our first Lepa berry. A little bit of bone meal kind of helps out, but I found the best way to do it is just waiting. They don't take that long to grow. So now that we've gotten the Lepa berry, that's kind of the proof of concept of how this is going to work. I'm going to go through the entire line here. After the Lepa berries, the Lum berry, kind of the same process. There we go. I wasn't recording, but we have gotten all the berries. I didn't realize that the Ropa berry or Rowap berry is the last one here. So these are all the berries that we've collected here. As you can see, these are all the new ones that I've made. Some of the ones that I ended up making and then having to bone meal a whole ton of. We are very low on our bone meal supply, but yeah, I basically ended up just realizing I don't need to do it in sections. I can just bone meal it and get what I need. So I was just using this menu and then bone mealing what we needed to get all of our new berries. And that is a big advancement clicked off on the cobblemon mod, which is obtaining every single berry in cobblemon. However, something we're going to have to do in the future is to reel in a Pokemon with one of each of the different berries attached to a Poke Rod. Now, you make a fishing rod using this smithing template, which is one that we got way back when we were finding fossils. Now, to duplicate one of these, good thing for us, it's only gold ingots and then a prismarine shard, which we do have. So we can duplicate that like so. Now, I've never done this before, but what I'm assuming I can do now is just take a fishing rod and then what? Put a Poke Rod template on it? Oh, and then we'd have to add the ball here. Let's start by just putting the default ball on this. Bam, Poke Rod. That gives us an advancement. Now, I guess we'll take one of the berries. Take the cherry berry. Might as well stick with the red theme. Oh, there we go. We just right click the rod with the berries. Okay, that makes it really easy to get this next advancement. Reeling in a Pokemon with every single berry attached, which will take a while, but let's try it right now. Alright, so we got a Poliwag here, so I don't know if I have to catch this Poliwag or what. I'm just going to kill it here. There we go. There is one of 69 completed. We'd have to do this with every single berry. But first, let's put mending on this just in case. We can always mend this up with the villagers back here, which give us XP. So originally, I was going to do a time-lapse and show off all of the fishing with all the different berries. However, that time-lapse ended up being 2 hours long, and it's basically just the same thing, which is pretty boring. So I'm not going to put it in the video, but just know, it took a long time. Finally! Oh my god, that took so long, dude. It's like 2 a.m. I'm so sick of fishing, dude. I could not recommend just not doing that, but hey, that is the advancement completed. Some very good lures. What a grind. Alright guys, it is now the next day here, and I think I'm going to actually call that a video for today. We got a ton of work done with building up the next structure of the mega base here, and of course we got a huge chunk of advancements done as well. We've gotten all the berries in cobblemon with these 2 advancements, of course, which brings us ever so closer to getting every single advancement in cobblemon, and of course we're absolutely thriving in the world of Minecraft. So if you guys like this video, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more.